There was a time when some of my closest friends were cam girls. I wanted to share a little personal experience that has stuck with me for a while. About 15 years ago, I moved to a very remote location for a new job. It was a big change, and I found myself with a lot of free time and not many people to socialize with. I've always been a bit of an introvert, so I didn't mind the solitude at first, but eventually, it started to get a little isolating. That's when I stumbled upon cam sites. Now, I know most people would assume that cam girls are just in it for the money. And yes, I'm sure that's true for many of them. But for me, I was barely paying anyone. I just started hanging out in free chat rooms while I was doing household stuff or watching TV. I'd just casually chat with these girls, and over time, we'd develop a bit of a rapport. It wasn't anything overtly personal or deep, just friendly banter, but it was enough to make me feel a little less alone. Eventually, after chatting for months or even longer, I decided to take the next step and pay for a private session. It wasn't about the money or anything sexual, okay, maybe a little sexual, it was more about the connection. After spending so much time talking, I felt like they deserved to at least know what I looked like. They were more than just random strangers to me at that point. Some of them seemed to genuinely enjoy my company, and I definitely enjoyed theirs. I remember one girl in particular. We'd been chatting for nearly a year before I took her private. When I did, she made me promise that it wouldn't make things weird between us. That stuck with me because it showed that she valued the friendship we built, even if it was through a webcam. Eventually, I stopped going on those sites. The whole dynamic changed as I started to build a life outside of that bubble. But every now and then, I'll check back on those sites to see if any of those familiar faces are still around. None of them are, and I can't help but miss them sometimes. I hope they're all doing well and that they're happy. It's kind of funny how sometimes the most unlikely people become an important part of your life, even if it's in a way you never expected. These girls were a big part of my life for a while, and I just wanted to share my story. It's something I'll always look back on fondly.